Hey Optimancers, this is just a little bonus video today. I was invited on Offbeat Outlaw's channel to do some of his build evaluation. Just a kind of a quick thing, went in blind, had some fun. And I just wanted to let you know that if you want to check out his channel, there is a link in the video description to it. So, please enjoy.
Hello everybody, my name is Offbeat Outlaw. Welcome to another video of me reviewing your builds, and today is so delightful. Today is special. Today is Christmas because I have a friend with me today. Why don't you introduce yourself, my friend?
Sure. My name's Chris, but I'm also known as Treant Monk. I have a channel called Treant Monk's Temple where I do optimization theory and optimization builds.
Yes, I'm sure.
So, looking at builds is kind of what I do.
Indeed. So this is his specialty. This is what we have them here for. We're gonna be looking at your builds, your fan submitted builds that you can submit by going into the link in the description, clicking onto my Discord, joining, reading the rules, and submit to your heart's content. Please, for the love of God, read the rules. I've read far too many builds that have not read the rules. It's very disappointing. With that being said, let's get right into builds. I'm gonna have to move you off of there. Starting off today, we have Southpaw Warbear Ox, total character level 8th level, 4 Bear Barbarian, 4 Moon Druid. What do you think of this so far?
Well, I mean, it will be functional because Moon Druid 2 gets you Bear. And then the idea with multiclassing with Barbarian is to rage, and then you get the resistance to damage, right? Right away, I can tell you the problem with this combination.
What's
and
that?
that is, where do you go from here, right? Because you're not really a caster, and you've invested in a resource, which is Wild Shape, that doesn't scale, right? Or it scales, but just way too slowly. So this character is going to start falling off a cliff very, very soon. But you probably do okay up to 8th level.
Yeah, and it looks like the description of this build as well is how we review stuff here on the channel is like everyone's asked to give a description. You get a 5 out of 10 if you accomplish your description. The extra points are if you impress the judges, the panel. And if your build is illegal, you lose. So you get 0 out of 10. It looks like they've taken the chance to make their build actually legal. So that's a first.
There is, I can tell you right now, there is some iffy rule stuff. Like, it might work, but it's cases where the rules are vague. Like, for example, they've taken Hill Dwarf to get the racial feature, +1 hit point per level. And that might carry on to Wild Shape, and I'm sure that's the intention. But the rules on Wild Shape are a little vague. They say, that racial features can apply basically if it makes sense. Does it make sense that when you are no longer a dwarf, do you still get the toughness? I don't know. Right? Maybe. There's certainly it's iffy. It's not illegal, but it's something you definitely want to check with your DM about.
Combat Wild Shape will allow you to self-heal using spell slots. So a lot of HP. This seems to be the HP was the thing. Wait, what are they talking about with a level 20 wizard? I think
they're doing that for comparison.
Okay. Compare a wizard.
I don't know. Yeah, boy, my hit points are great. They're better than a wizard.
Yeah, so are a lot of things. They're comparing it to Tarask as well. Bonus benefits. I mean, their build seems to be solely just having a lot of health at level 8. That seems to be like their thing, and I can't really fault them for that too much. They accomplished that, but it doesn't seem like it's. Yeah, they say going to level 20 is a bad idea, and I think the problem is it doesn't go much further than this. So I 5 out of 10 maybe, 4 out of 10 for iffiness.
Yeah. I mean, anything with Moon Druid at level 2 or higher, or level 2 to 5 is going to do really well. So I think it's okay. It's not all that original. I've seen this build almost exactly many times.
Yeah. It's...
So 2 out of 10 on originality. Overall, 5 out of 10.
I think this might be one of the most common builds we're going to see in this is some form of a druid with a barbarian, and potentially also a monk speedster. I've seen the monk speed build so many times. We're gonna get tired of it. 4 out of 10. At least your build's not illegal. You read the rules. Next up, let's go to Purple Pants. I'd like you all to meet Aarakocra, an Aarakocra who does not take sass from anyone and will hand out some ass beatings. If it's a monk, Can already tell you it won't.
Guess what? It's a monk. Monk, fighter, rogue. So I guess I should start with monk sucks.
Yes! Thank you! Say that again for the people at the back. Please say that again.
Yeah, monk sucks. Now, I will say mercy monk is okay, but there's no monk that's good. So right away, by taking more monk levels than everything else, you've ensured this is not an optimized build.
Especially as it seems that...
It doesn't even say what subclass they took here on... Oh, maybe it's further down.
I think it says... I think they took mercy.
It is mercy. It is mercy. So they took the... Okay, so you get a point because you took the right monk, but then you took assassin, and that's the wrong rogue.
It's fun for damage numbers, but it's not practical.
And just because you're stealthy doesn't mean you're going to get surprise, because most adventures just aren't set up to give you surprise. And then you got fighter, Echo Knight. Okay, well, Echo Knight is the best fighter. So
seems like their point here is to do a lot of damage. I'm currently doing their average damage calc right now.
I'll tell you right now, Flurry of Blows is not going to deliver a lot of damage. Let's see. So they've got Action Surge. They have extra attack, so that's 2. Action Surge would make it 4, but you can use Unleash Incarnation through Echo Knight, so that makes it 6. And then Flurry of Blows is 8. I get 8.
8, and then is the extra D8 then from the Hands of Harm?
A lot of attacks. The attacks all do terrible damage, though.
Yeah, and it would, and they all do terrible damage, and for some reason they've doubled their modifier damage, which isn't how that works.
And here's my question: how do they have a 20 dexterity? Did they just decide? Did they roll it at home?
I think they may have rolled it.
I rolled it at home. I got an 18 on my dexterity.
Oh no, that means.
And then I'll get
illegal build. They get a 1 out of our first illegal build of the day, ladies and gentlemen. You get the beat stick. Come on, guys. Read the rules. 0 out of 10. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say they use magic. Say they use some magic wizardry to see this. Let's say that they get their ideal scenario. So with their ideal scenario, they get 144 average damage. So you've done all this work to barely be better than a Battlemaster fighter. Actually, arguably worse, because now they have no effects on them. They've just been dealt damage, whereas Battlemaster fighter would have them scared on the ground and potentially disarmed with all of this. That's
yeah, I mean, with a fighter alone, if you did Echo Knight just for the full 11 levels that this person has taken, then you have 8 attacks with your action surge anyway. And you're not even using your bonus action yet. 9 attacks if you take Polearm Master. And you'd have a ton of feats. And the 20 dexterity would be legal.
So, yeah, this build's getting a big fat 0 out of 10.
I'll give it 2, because they did take 2 correct subclasses.
You're being too nice. They were illegal. Go to jail. Next build. Captain Nemo has submitted total character level 20, champion fighter 20. That's a bold claim. That's a bold move, just submitting a level 20 champion fighter.
Well, yeah, you lose a mark right away for champion unless you got some really good way to take advantage of crits.
Yeah, unless you're doing something snasty with like Elven accuracy. This might not be good. ASI distribution: Magic Initiate, Eldritch Blast, Hex, Presty, Eldritch Adept, Agonizing Blast. You can't do that, Home Slice.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so we're already in an illegal build.
We're already looking at a build.
So you don't have to look it up. I'll tell you right now that any Eldritch Invocation that requires you to have Warlock is unavailable from the feat.
Yeah, it specifically says, because my comment section loves to explain the rules to me. You can choose an invocation only if you're a warlock who meets the prerequisite. So you have to be a warlock in order to get Agonizing Blast, as it has a prerequisite. And this is a level 20 champion fighter. And last time I checked, it's not a warlock.
Well, no, they can get Eldritch Blast.
They can get Eldritch Blast, just not Agonizing Blast, right?
But they can't get Agonizing Blast. And without Agonizing Blast, this sucks.
This is trash. Specifically on the attack, Eldritch Blast, I paired it with Studying Fire, blah, 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 blah. Becoming a champion, mainly focused on dealing damage, casting a Hex.
Grab a crossbow.
Just get a crossbow.
You can do more damage. Eldritch Agonizing Blast plus Eldritch Blast is a D10 plus 5. Hand crossbow plus sharpshooter plus your dex is a D6 plus 15. Not even close.
Yeah, it's so much better. I don't know.
So illegal and poor, even if it was legal. That's a 0.
That's a big fat stinking 0 out of 10. Next build. All right, we have another level 20. Assassin Rogue 8, Totem Barb 9, Champion 3. All right, we got a 15, 15, 15, 8, 8, 8. This is a bold. These are bold claims. We got someone who fancies themselves a bold power builder here. Hopefully they don't get feeble-minded. Relevant features: sneak attack, reckless attack,
wielding rapiers, and because they're finesse weapons, they qualify for sneak, but because they're finesse weapons, you don't have to use dex, so they qualify for reckless.
Right, all right.
And I get the idea here is to crit fish, right?
Yeah.
So that's why champion fighter.
Although I question why champion fighter and why not hexblade, because
I think it's for the ability scores, because it would be hard to fit that 13 charisma on this build.
That is true. That is true.
They could dump their dex down. No, they can't because they took rogue.
They have to be in a set.
Yeah. You would have to bring down your constitution, which obviously has issues. I see why they did champion fighter. Crit fishing is generally so-so.
Yeah.
Because it's very unreliable. You can increase your chance to crit, but you can't ensure a crit. I just ran a one-shot like a week ago where somebody had a crit fishing build, and this was 18th level. And we went the first half of the game, no crits at all. And then the second half of the game, crits like every round. So swingy. It's so unreliable that tactically, it's crap. Overall, if you average out the damage overall, it's okay.
I mean, another issue with crit fishing is like, even with like a champion fighter whose whole thing is crits, that only mathematically works out to an extra attack per turn. If you add up all the chances to crit, it's just not worthwhile for every turn. It's like, why aren't you just being any other build that can actually have a bit more utility?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess Totem Barbarian, the idea is for reckless.
Maybe it might be for the brutal critical.
Oh, I guess because brutal critical. Although Barbarian looks like it's the right way to go, it's not the right way to go because the brutal critical scales so slowly. Just better off going into smites or sneak attacks.
4 out of 10. I feel like this is just another 4 out of 10.
I already called 4 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
That's exactly what I think it is.
Southpaw Warbear Ox is ready. You already submitted a build. Get out of here! Next one, Giga Guess. Mimicking a build that has served me well in campaign. Okay. That does make me nervous, but let's keep watching.
I know this build.
You know this build? Is it all right? Is it solid?
I have a build called the Jack of All Trades build on my channel, and it's basically this.
Yo, are you plugging your channel right now? Why don't you say that again so I can point at the notification card here so we can send them there.
It's not that clever, but it's the idea is if you throw 3 levels of hexblade warlock on College of Swords, it gives you a wide range of things you can do.
It gives you quite a bit of, it does give you some solid damage. Concept is essentially online at level 6, Hex 3, Bard 3. First, attack and use defensive flourish, minimum 1d6 bump to AC and as high as 1d12. It doesn't cut it. Cast shield as a reaction, add additional +5. AC is solid. You are a squishy build, so that is a good disincentive for the DM to even bother hitting you. So I'm actually good with this build being high AC. Offense, magic missile plus hexblade's curse. That actually does work. That does work. Hex doesn't work with magic missile. Legal.
Yep.
Hex doesn't work with magic missile, but Hexblade's curse does work with magic missile.
Of course, I'll say that if you wanted to do magic missile plus Hexblade curse, you would be first off, where are they getting the magic missile from? Are they taking magic secrets? Is that the idea?
It must be a magical secret from being a bard.
Because it's not on the base spell lists for bard or warlock, but magic secrets at 10. So this character is 13th level before they get magic missile. You could just take Hexblade 1 and then sorcerer or wizard, and you could be doing the magic missile right off the bat and at higher level.
It's a bit of a generalist build as well. It's not very specific. It's useful in campaigns because it's like you get all of these options of like AC bumping, supporting your teammates, but it's not. You're not really doing a thing in a power.
I'll tell you that the Hex Warlock 3 Swords Bard X, it does okay damage. Defensively, it's okay. It is using resources to get those kind of armor classes, right?
It's
but
using
defensive flourish is good. Shield is good. You're pretty good at spells, but your multi-class are not great. You're good at skills because you're a bard. You can do a bit of everything, but you're not super invested in anything specific.
This is the first build that's like I'm kind of like I could imagine myself playing this. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I mean, it's not super original. I did it like 2 years ago, so it's been around for a while. But I've done basically the same build, so 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay. So now we're being biased. Grim Karen can't figure out how to format new lines on Discord. Thanks for letting me know. This will be sure to incorporate that in the stats.
That's very important.
All right. A Conquest Paladin, slow death monk. I'm already disappointed. Build is designed to lock down and deal continuous psi damage. Can be done at level 14 with 7 in each. It's a monk build that's not trying to do flurry of blows bullshit. So I'm not too disappointed.
Right away, I'm wondering if they should have just gone 8 Conquest Paladin and then anything else besides 12, and it's long death monk, not slow death monk. There's no slow death monk, but it's somewhat apt because when you take 12 levels of the monk, you are dying a slow death.
You have been useless the entire campaign, so
you have taken your powerful 8th level Conquest Paladin and slowly made it worse.
I too question why this is not just a Conquest Paladin.
This is 12 levels of monk invested here, and the benefits are not 12 levels of benefits. They're just not.
It's an action to make people scared, which, if I'm not mistaken, a barbarian ability can do that.
Actually, you can do it now with Warlock 1. With the new Undead patron.
That's true.
You can do it with 1 level of Warlock dip. And then have 11 levels to throw on Sorcerer, or just 11 more levels of Warlock, and you could be casting 6-level spells.
Honestly, why not even just do 20 levels of Conquest Paladin at this point? Because level 20 Paladin
wrong
features
with 20
are dope.
levels of Conquest Paladin. It's not super creative, but it's okay.
It's better than this,
Paladin
honestly.
is a good chassis, right?
Yeah.
I get the idea. The Bugbear, you can attack at with reach, so that somebody can't move closer to you, but you can attack them. But this is done so many easier ways than you killed the build with the 12 slow death monk. One thing about monks, one of the reasons they suck, the key runs out really fast.
It's so fast. You don't even get to use it before, but you barely get to enjoy it by the time you're already useless. You're already worse than the rest of your teammates. And this is coming from a guy whose name is Treant Monk. So like obviously you've heard me say monks suck, but take it from him at least.
I got in some controversy because back when everyone agreed that rangers were the worst, I said no, it was monks that were the worst. But monks have always been the worst in 5th edition.
I agree 120% with you. Rangers aren't actually as bad as people say.
Rangers aren't bad. Even the old Beastmaster out of the Player's Handbook still had spells.
That's true. I'd say they were arguably worse than every other spellcaster, but they had something.
They were probably
monks.
the worst of the spellcasters.
The best thing about a Beastmaster Ranger was that it wasn't a monk.
That's right. God of strength.
God is strength.
Highest strength possible.
Oh, I saw this. This is a lifting build. This build was kind of funny. Pure Totem Barbarian, mountain strength from... Wait. GM... That's Homebrew!
Yeah, okay, so illegal build.
Negative 50 out of 10. That's Homebrew!
I don't know if it's a UA thing. No, Unearthed Arcana is not released on GM Binder.
Yeah.
What GM Binder is Homebrew. I can write my own feat, and that gives me a 50 strength, and now I beat your build.
Yeah.
Using the same guidelines you're using.
God. How dare you? God, I don't know if it's UA. UA is released on the official website, guys.
And UA is not legal.
Yeah, UA is not legal anyway.
Is test. Yeah.
Just Google it. Google it. It's free. It's 100% free to Google things first. Amazing.
To be legal, it needs to be published.
Yeah. I know my fans are allergic to reading though, so that's okay. Next, Totem, Elk, Monk. Oh boy. Rogue. Okay. Fighter 2. Is this a speed build? This is a speed build. Speed build out of 10. I don't feel like reading a speed build. All you can do is move fast. You only need like 60. Like you only need 60 feet of movement.
Movement is very useful if you have something useful to do with it. If movement is the feature, you suck. That's why monks suck. Because they can move fast, but they can't do anything really good once they move. And no, Stunning Fist is not good. It's very so-so.
It's decent. It's pretty okay, but and in combat anyway, you only need like maximum like 60 feet of movement. Like 60 feet of movement, like everything's kind of on that base 60 feet. Like spells have 120 feet of range. You know, like a lot of arrows and stuff is like 120 and stuff. So like 60 is the most you're gonna need. That's why cunning action's useful. But
you're generally best not to center entirely on one thing. And that's true of anything. Like if you are centering entirely on to hit, it doesn't matter if you hit unless you're doing good damage as well.
Yeah.
You have to have some balance. You can have an initiative of plus 15. You can have initiative of plus 50, and functionally they're identical.
Yeah. And while it's certainly funny to have those things as well, we're not always grading on funniness. There have been a few times when I've received a build that's been a plus 40 to persuasion. I was like, that's hilarious. I don't know what plus 40 even means. I'll give that a 10 out of 10 because that's funny. But speed builds is like, it's very obvious how far you can move. Like you just move 600 feet. Congratulations. Now what? You're very far away from your party, providing no benefit to the fight. Speed out of 10. That's my rating. What's yours?
Somebody who can run fast and then you're a drunk monk, 0. That's about it. It's not illegal. It's just useless.
We got a level 4 build now. Oh boy. College of the Lore Bard, High Elf. These are some low stats. I'm immediately scared for this character because they are going to be.
Did they even give themselves a full point buy?
It did they?
It looks close. It looks low to me right off, but
they are pretty
maybe it's that they've put their racial bonuses in areas I wouldn't expect for a bard.
Okay, let's see what their description is. Maybe it'll be elucidated there. This guy isn't made to be good in combat or a good caster. Okay, this guy can grab any instrument from a band and jam out on it.
So about as good as a monk.
You know what? That's fair. That's a fair enough analysis. I think it's funny.
And he calls him Music Monk.
Yeah, he calls him Music Monk. 5 out of 10 for being good at being a music monk.
Okay, I'll give you, at least you got spells, so I'll go with that.
That is probably. I'm running out of energy. I'm getting tired. I think it's time that we called it for today. So thank you everybody so much for watching all these builds. These builds are significantly better than last week's, the last time's fiasco where I handed out 10 zeros. So for a legality. So this has been significantly better.
Yeah, we had a couple.
Yeah, today we only had like 2 or 3. So thank you guys so much. Treat Monk, plug your channel once again. Thank you so much for joining me on this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is what I love to do. But yeah, my channel is called Treat Monk's Temple, and I do optimization stuff. I don't normally evaluate builds like this, but I make builds and I evaluate optimization techniques.
So honestly, if you enjoy what I do on my channel, it'll be straight up your lane. So thank you so much. That is all we have for today. Thank you. Get the fuck out of my house.